If you worked on apps that are split across multiple repositories before, I guarantee this has happened to you. For good reason, many organizations maintain separate repositories for different parts of their stack. But traditional CI pipelines are scoped for a single repository. They can't catch bugs that only appear when those repositories interact. Even with sophisticated test suites running in staging environments, misalignment errors often slip into production. That is why we're introducing linked repository support. An easy way to have CodeRabbit analyze and catch bugs that live in the gaps between your different repositories. Let's take a look on how it works. Here's a release node generator I'm working on. It uses Mastra, which is a powerful open source TypeScript framework for building an agentic workflow to summarize a set of commits from my Git history into a polished release node, and then sends it to a React frontend, which I built to render the output. Now, let me introduce a breaking change here. This is the backend workflow. It takes a list of commits and generates release nodes. The input field is called query, and that's fine, but I think commitLogs would be a much more descriptive name. So I'm going to rename it here. I'll select all the occurrences and rename them in one go. And here's the PR in the backend. We can see one file changed. The field is now commit logs everywhere, which was query before, and seems to be a clean diff. Now if we go here, we see the CI runs, TypeScript compiles, all tests pass. So from most angles, this would seem like a safe change to merge. But what happens when I switch back to the front end and try to generate? Well, nothing happens. In fact, the request failed silently because the front end is still sending the old field name. This is exactly where the linked repository feature comes in handy. Let's add the coderabbit.yaml file to the backend repo again and link it to the front end. One thing worth noting is that the config needs to be on main, not just on the feature branch. That's what tells CodeRabbit to look at the linked repo when reviewing any PR. Under knowledge base, I add linked repositories and point it to the front-end repo. Another critical part next to the repository path is the instructions field. This is where I tell CodeRabbit exactly what to look for. Now, when CodeRabbit reviews the PR, it explores the linked front-end repo automatically and flags exactly this. The proxy is still sending the old field name. The front end will get an error the moment it merges. Right on. And this is how you can catch bugs across the repositories easily before you even deploy. So, see you at the next one.